Well, hello today. I hope everybody's feeling well today. Yesterday was a little, emotional for me to be expected on a Step 20 day. But I have been bringing up stuff and doing some programs to help release some of my old programming, some of my old conditioning. And so I am feeling better today. It's a lovely day. I just went for a, 2.25 mile walk. And it's beautiful outside. It's a little chilly, but I had to come in and take off my overshirt. So back to no sleeves today. Today I would like to invite you, if you are following along, to maybe take off any watches or rings or anything that's really constricting you. And I would like to just do a few maneuvers with you today. It's getting to the middle of November. It's still kind of unseasonably warm for here. Yesterday was a little cooler, but it's back up to being warm today. Hi, Cara. And today I thought I would start with some shoulder maneuvers, like swinger, because I woke up and my one shoulder was still a little bit tight where I landed on it in February. There's still something going on in there. And we'll go on from there. But first, let's just start with swinger, which helps to open up the arms and shoulder. It opens up the side of the body. It opens up the neck and into the head. And also my neck and shoulders have been a little tight as things adjust. With my collarbone, things are continually like releasing and shifting and peeling. So I thought I would like to start with that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to barely squat until our hands are touching our knees. And then we're going to put our right hand on our left shoulder. And then we're going to grab the skin and we're going to drag it down, really drag it down and pin and lock that. Now we're going to twist our body around to the left, twist our head to the right, squat a little bit more, twist a little more, and then we're going to take 3 big mouth breaths. I'm keeping my knees square as I do this. I have my spinal pelvic lock engaged. Pulling around a little more. Now, if you'd like to make it a little more extra, you can step behind with your right foot. And I'm pulling my body around more. I'm squatting a little more. Breathe in the nose. And every time I breathe out, I just try to get a little more rotation so that I just get a little more stretch. Then I check in with my body. It helped open up my shoulder girdle. It helped look into the shoulder blades. That is just great. I love this. Okay, so let's do the left side. We're gonna just bend the legs until we can touch our knees. Put the left hand on the right shoulder, and we're just gonna slide this down. Really just slide and grab and pull that skin. I don't know if you can see how it just pulled the skin until it's got some tension in there, and then I'm gonna lock it with my hand on my elbow. I'm gonna turn my body to the left, head to the right. I'm gonna squat a little more, turn a little more, making sure that my knees don't really move. I don't want them all wonky while I'm doing this. I really want to focus it on this part of the body. So I'm in this position. I'm going to breathe through the mouth. Turn my head to the left. My spinal pelvic lock's engaged. And to advance this move, you can reach around, step behind with your left foot. And unwind. This is my broken collarbone side. So I can really just feel it opening up in here also, which is you wouldn't think that it would open up in the front by working this, but everything has been balanced, Everything has a protagonist and antagonist as far as musculature or fascia goes. So That's what we're working on. Next, I want to do a pretzel squat. This is one of the more energetic of them, so if you only can get into it part way, just do whatever you can do for you. I'm going to take my right foot and tee it to my left foot. I'm going to step out a big step. I'm going to reach forward with my left hand, put my right hand on my bum. I'm falling towards that left hand. I'm putting it on my shoulder. I'm reaching back as far as I can. I'm going to look backwards over my shoulders and squat. And I'm going to take 3 big breaths. Nose. Now switch the arms, rotate the head the other direction. Okay, now unwind for that. That one always just makes me break into a sweat. I really feel that just in my legs, mostly for myself. It's a really good, it opens up all of this fascia in this area, as well as some of the shoulder and stuff too, but it really opens up like the lower part of here and stretches out like all the way down into my thighs and into that pelvic girdle. And that's a really good place to release tension. If you have like incontinence issues, if you're a woman that has trouble, you can't cough without peeing, any of those kind of things. I don't have any of those problems. I used to, but now I don't. And I'm still breathing a little bit heavy. So now I'm gonna tee my left foot to my right foot, take a big step out, which for me, it's probably more than 3 feet. If it's only like 2 feet for you, that's whatever your body is good for. I'm going to reach my right hand forward, put my left hand on my bum, lean towards my right arm. I'm going to put that on a shoulder, put this, and I'm sliding this up between my shoulder blades. But if you can only reach to here, reach to there, whatever works for you. I'm going to look back over my right shoulder. I'm going to squat, and I'm going to breathe in my mouth. In my nose. I'm going to switch my arms. I'm going to switch my head. Breathe in. In the nose. And unwind. You might feel yourself get a little shaky. You might feel yourself sweating. I am sweating right now. We do have kind of a high humidity. I'm sure that has something to do with it. I'm just going to integrate that just a little bit and feel where I need to work in my body now. Now I've been doing some work on my calf and my shin, and that has really been helping my toe that's been giving me a problem. So I have not been having any problems with that now. So, but what I'm doing is my balance, still working on my balance a little bit. I'm grabbing my hands like this. I'm just going to go ahead and sit down for this just for stability, because I don't want to be wobbling around right here. And then I'm going to show you what I've been doing. It's also really good if you're starting to get like some kind of plantar fasciitis or just like pains or numbness, tingling in your feet, which I was having like neuropathy type symptoms. It felt like my toe was on fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clasp my hands together, and then I'm going to slide my hands up. Now actually I'm going to grab them from 2 different directions, and I'm going to twist and pull, okay? And I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm settling down into that, and I'm letting my body weight pull on my fascia, and it's like I'm putting on a super tight, like compression sock or something. Now I'm just going to move around and move my foot around. Move my foot, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. Move around. Move it around, rotate it a couple times, point and flex, and then release. Now I am gonna clasp my hands together for the back, but hurts since, oh, your back hurts since you woke up from bed? Okay, well, we'll do a back maneuver afterwards, okay? I was like trying to figure out what BAK was. I was like, am I reading that right? Okay, so I'm gonna clasp my hands, and then I'm gonna really pull up on my calf until I find that spot. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, move my foot around, maybe move my body with my, and I'm letting my shoulders, just really letting the body weight of my body, like I'm pulling that compression nut sock on, and I'm pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing, moving around, stretching, moving, leaning back a little more, moving. I like to move my neck around when I'm doing this. Sometimes I get some nice crackles. You know, it's amazing how connected even your ankles and your shoulders are. You know, I often noticed when I was working on people, doing massage all the time, that if somebody came in with an ankle issue, their opposite shoulder would be bothering them. And they'd be like, I need you to work right here. But my hands kept wanting to go down to the ankle. So I'd be like, let me just work on this for a little while. And I'd work on the ankle for a bit, or put my energy in there, and then their shoulder would release. So never discount what kind of fascial tension lines you have in your body, because you probably don't even remember all the accidents and injuries you've been in when you were a little kid, rough and tumble, throwing yourself about, or skiing, you know, on top of the water when you lose your way, and all that stuff. So I just want to feel the difference between my left foot and my right foot. So my left foot is more settled into the ground. It feels more solid, more grounded, more relaxed. And now I want to get into the right foot, okay? So I'm gonna do the right foot now, and I'm just gonna sit down for stability. If you wanna do it standing up, balancing, which sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't, but today I just wanna sit down while I'm doing it. I'm gonna grab both directions, okay? I'm gonna grab one hand this way, and then I'm stretching it apart, and I'm pulling, really pulling, and I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm using the body weight. My body weight is doing all the pulling, and it's like I'm putting on a really tight compression sock. And now I'm just gonna move my toes, point and flex, move it around, breathe. Really big breaths to help. Maybe lean back a little more, rocking that toe back and forth, rocking that ankle back and forth, just moving. Sometimes I like to rotate my neck around. Like I said, I get good cracks and releases from my neck when I work on my ankles, because everything is so connected. I have a lot of impact injuries, so, you know, who knows what kind of fascial lines and tension lines I have had in my body, but I've released a lot of it with fascial maneuvers. And all the self-work I've done on myself. Oh yeah, I can definitely feel that I need that on the back side now. I'm going to, for this one, clasp my hands together, and then I'm just going to slide that up until I find a really kind of a tight spot, and then I'm leaning into it. I'm not using my hands, I'm not using my shoulders, I'm relaxing into it. I'm leaning back so that I get a nice stretch. And again, I'm just going to move around, move my toes back and forth, flex and point, and breathe. Maybe back and forth a little bit, leaning back a little farther, rotate my head. Try to rotate your foot in a different opposite direction from your head. It's not easy, just okay. And now I'm just gonna feel into that, and I'm gonna see how my different feet, how different my feet feel, how much more grounded I am. That actually quieted my head and relaxed my shoulders even, relaxed into my shoulders a little bit. And Kara's got a sore back, so let's, you know, I really like the one where I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna grab as far back as I can on both sides, right? And then I'm going to curve into a little C. I'm gonna squat a little bit so I get as much curve, and I'm tucking my pelvis under. You know, I'm not like this, but I'm tucking it under and I'm squatting. And then I'm just gonna breathe and really fill the back of your lungs. You might hold and get another handful. I'm gonna squat a little more. And then slowly come up. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of integrate that a little bit. I can feel like I got some space in my hip area actually. So I'm gonna work on my hips just a little bit too, because this really helps to loosen that area up as well. You know, you might just sit and feel how your body feels now. Are you more balanced? Are you more centered or grounded? Are you spacey? You could be even, who knows, when you release tension, you could become dizzy. You could just be like quieter in your head, which I'm getting quieter in my head. But I'm going to put my hands on my hip right here, and then I'm gonna pull this skin. So my hip is right here, but I'm pulling this skin. I'm gonna reach back as far as I can, and I'm gonna pull up and around to the front. I'm gonna squat a little bit, and I am gonna turn my body to the left, and I am just gonna breathe as I lean to the left a little bit. So I'm leaning, I'm pulling, I'm stretching, really stretching that out. You can turn your head to the opposite direction. Maybe leaning, maybe pushing that hip out a little more. A little more squat. I'm gonna breathe in my nose. And then I'm gonna unwind. And I'm gonna notice, I'm gonna just move my hips back and forth and notice a difference between the left and right. I can tell that the back is looser and also the front is looser as well. So that is hopefully starting to help a little bit. I'm going to, once again, take my left hand. I'm gonna grab where my hip, like right on top of my hip, like not your waist, but like your hip, and really pull, stretch that skin down, okay? I'm really stretching this skin down, and then I'm gonna reach back as far as I can, and I'm gonna pull. So I'm pulling in a lateral, up, diagonal direction. I'm pulling up and away with my ribs, really stretching that skin down over the hip. Make sure I got a good lock on that. I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm gonna squat a little bit. I'm gonna look to the left. I'm gonna lean to the right and put that hip out. Squat a little more, and I'm gonna breathe. Maybe straighten the left leg a little bit. In the nose. And unwind with that. What I'm noticing in my own body is that actually opened up my lungs a little bit. My lungs feel like I have a little more air and a little more space in there. So that helps. Like when you loosen in the back here, it helps to open up the front too. I think that a psoas release is amazing to help release the back. So let's do a psoas release. So we're gonna find our belly button. We're gonna come 2 inches to the right, and 2 inches down. If you want to stick your hands in your pants so you can get a good grip, that's good too. But I'm coming to the right and down. I'm going to step back with that right foot or forward with the left, either one. I'm really pulling, and I'm going to pull my hands apart. So I'm pulling up and apart. Okay, so you find a tight spot in there. You know, whether it's exactly 2 and 2, it doesn't matter. You just find whatever works. Sometimes you go between your hip and your belly button, but I like to go a little lower. So I'm really pulling up and apart, stepping back with that same foot. I'm bending the left foot. I'm leaning back into it, and I'm going to breathe. Big breaths. Maybe down a little bit more. This psoas release is really good for digestive issues. It's good if you get anxiety, if you're having tummy problems. If, you know, I usually, when I'm pulling, I can feel it all the way down. Sometimes I feel it down into the front of my knee. So that means that's getting that nice release on that line there, on that fascial line. So now let's do the left side. So I'm going to go 2 inches over, 2 inches down from my belly button. Mine is a little bit farther because I'm tall. It might be a little less than 2 inches. If you're short, you might not need to hardly move down at all. Just find a tight spot in there and then really pull up. I'm really pulling up. And then I'm stretching that apart. I'm going to reach back with my left foot. I'm going to lean back, and I'm going to lean forward into so I get even more stretch. See, I feel that all the way down into my knee. And I'm going to breathe. I'm going to lean, push forward a little more. In the nose. Dropping my shoulders, just really getting an extra stretch in there. Oh yeah, that made me just a little bit shaky even. That must be some good releasing going in. Whenever you get shaky or get lightheaded or any of that stuff, it means you're having some good releases. I'm always chasing the release, you know, so that's a good thing for me. If you'd like to join with me in a head-heart balance, I've really been focusing on balancing my head-heart connection, especially this past week, you know, with all the angst and stuff going on in the country and around the world. We just want to balance ourselves, stay grounded and centered in our energy. A lot of times when we feel things, it's not our energy. So I ask myself, is this my energy? A lot of times the answer is no. Now, yesterday, it was my energy because I had some deep stuff come up, some childhood memories. And so I was just releasing that, but I wanted to feel it so I could release it. So I've got my right hand on my head, on my heart, my left hand on my head. Now breathe into your heart 3 times through your mouth and really just try to feel your heartbeat. Relaxing the shoulders, just settling in, just feeling the floor under your feet. Now breathe into your nose. 2, 3. Now we're going to breathe again this time. And as we breathe in this time, I want you to really sync your head and your heartbeat together. You know, if you have any extra energy, you can sit it into the Mother Earth for transmutation. But this is just a really good way to just kind of pull your energy back to yourself and ground yourself. So let's breathe in the mouth. Just really releasing any extra energy. Breathe in the nose. Really imagine the line, like the white light coming in and grounding and sinking up my head and my heart. I'm going to bring my hand down to my heart and just feel how much more balanced I feel. I'm noticing that my head is a lot quieter than when I started. Yeah, feeling better, feeling a little better. Today is a step 21 Scorpio day. So step 21 is about feeling your heart and making your beliefs from where your heart feels, okay? And then you want to protect your beliefs. You want to protect what you believe, because Scorpio is all about creating boundaries, creating space. You want to make space for your beliefs. If you don't make space for your beliefs, then they don't really settle in for you. So that doesn't serve you. So you really want to just get grounded in what your emotions and your heart are telling you before you settle into your beliefs, because sometimes your beliefs are just a mental chatter going on. You know, a lot of times a belief is just a thought you keep repeating over and over. But if you base your beliefs on what your heart feels, then you can't go wrong, because that's connected to spirit. That's connected to your source, you know? So I hope this has helped a little bit today. And I hope that Kara's back is releasing. Oh, yes. Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm so glad everybody's been showing up. And I really appreciate taking this time. Like I said, today is day 22. I'm really proud of myself for sticking with this. I'm trying to keep it within like a lunch hour. So everybody have a really good rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow.